John Garcia, our guest today. I want to talk to you about Ashley Williams, this edge defender out of Louisiana, 6'6", 220. Some places have him at 6'5", 225. Both of those are very attractive. There's not a whole lot of ratings-wise about this guy. I mean, was Auburn just early? Because you look at his schools, and it's like, it's Auburn, Colorado, Houston, Georgia Tech, FSU's in there. Was Auburn just early in finding this guy?
Yeah, everybody's looking into Ashley. Breakout on the field prospect last year, obviously not really well known before or during the 2021 season, but had a huge breakout year, 14 sacks. And you mentioned the size, right? When you've got the desirable size and you're productive at a position like that, one of the premium positions, right? Quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher, secondary. If you're a premium position guy and you break out with great size, it's going to flood in terms of the scholarship offers. Had 0 going into this year, and now he's probably sitting at a dozen. But like you said, the quote-unquote big boys aren't all in quite yet on Williams, but I think they're about to be. So I do like the timing of this scholarship offer from Auburn. He visited campus for the first time as well, which is a nice combination there because you want to make good impressions early because this recruitment has an opportunity to become national in very short order. Everybody needs pass rushers. Everybody needs size in the trenches. And he's from Louisiana, where starting this week, actually, every single SEC school is going to send coaches to start to see recruits because now the evaluation period is here. So every coach conceivably could hit the road and go see kids in person. So when you eyeball 6'6", 225, and you look at the production and you look at he's from Louisiana, so great competition as well, all those boxes start to get checked in very short order for a breakout candidate who will hit the camp circuit this summer and probably start picking up even more momentum. So I love the timing of Auburn, not only identifying him, but getting him on campus, presenting him with that scholarship offer to sort of say, hey, remember, we were, one of the first schools overall and certainly one of the first SEC schools in on you. Keep that in mind as you go through the process because that offer list, which has been booming, I believe will continue to grow in short order over the next weeks and months. So a good timing for Auburn there. And those are the little things that I think schools like Auburn need to do, right? You're still trying to establish who you are as a coaching staff. What is Auburn under Brian Harsin? A lot of unanswered questions there going into year 2. So in recruiting, you need to start doing the little things and closing those margins, at least in the benefit of the doubt perspective.
Yeah. And Ashley Williams was on campus, like you said, this past week. Sounds like he hit it off with Trevon Reed, who's from Louisiana. I mean, he has just become a lightning rod for Auburn's recruiting front over the last 6 months or so. And it seems like any kid that's from Louisiana that they want, they're like, Trevon, just go talk to him. Tell him you're from Louisiana. You guys can hit it off. And it sounds like that's exactly what happened here. He had some comments after his visit about how, and I'm sure Coach Harsin told him this, but like Auburn needs edge players after this year. They have 3 startable guys on this roster right now, and they're going to lose both of their 2 starters after this season. They're both going to go to the NFL. And so that's got to be a good pitch to have. It's like, hey, you've got a real chance, maybe not start with the grad, with a grad transfer or transfer portal, something like that, but like you're going to have a really solid chance to play relevant snaps as a true freshman if you come here and play edge.
Right, and that's becoming a more desirable trait on the recruiting trail for just about every single recruit, right? Because the kids who aren't playing are more likely to hit the portal, right? It all goes around in a circle here in college football. So if you can sell that earlier, and look, this kid's from Louisiana, he understands the SEC West. He knows what goes down in the hardest division and maybe in sports at this point. So yeah, if you can come in and have the potential to play early, that is extremely attractive. And the timing, again, really smart here for Auburn. LSU is transitioning on the coaching staff. There are other transitions in the SEC. So if you can gain some footing early, you've got a chance to stick it out. Although, to my understanding, Ashley's recruitment has the opportunity to go maybe the distance because a lot of schools are still just figuring out who in the world this kid is. But again, those numbers are going to go up. So any little advantage you can get, I do think is a big deal. And that's a heck of a sale regardless of position. But again, especially when you play one of those premium positions.
Well, and you touched on this a second ago, John. I mean, it's going to be guys like this that Brian Harsin needs to get on campus because he's not going to out recruit Alabama and Georgia. He's just not. And so he's going to have to do it by evaluation. And this seems like one of those kind of things where it's like, all right, maybe if he is early enough, it's going to pay off, even if he does eventually get that Alabama or Georgia offer late in the process.
Absolutely. I think kids remember certain stages of their recruiting process. I was talking to a kid up in Massachusetts last night who remembered his first offer, yes, but he also remembered like his first quote unquote big offer. So if Ashley considers Auburn and Florida State maybe his turning point in terms of going from I'm a scholarship guy, which is awesome. Mom doesn't have to pay for school, but then, okay, now I'm a national recruit and I'm not just kind of this regional guy. If he remembers that turning point, I think that's another thing that could potentially favor Auburn in this recruitment. And you've already gotten him on campus. So now you can push to get him back on campus. Obviously, the commute isn't too far at this stage coming from Louisiana. So I do think there are some advantages to what Auburn is selling. And yeah, you're absolutely right. If you're Brian Harsin, you've got to nail the evaluation, period. Whether it's your own quarterback room or whether it's the recruiting board, you've got to nail the evaluation with very, very small margin for error because this clock is absolutely ticking. And recruiting is a big part of that. Although I will say defensively, Auburn has been closer to what we normally conceive as Auburn in terms of recruiting great prospects. I love their JUCO haul from last season. A lot of those guys are going to play really early. So defensively, you're still on track, but you got to keep that going as well.